now to talk FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried, the current state of the crypto market. Here in a Fox Business exclusive, your first appearance since this morning's court appearance. You have to talk to us about, Kevin, how you feel about him now, because in the days after FTX filed for bankruptcy, but before SBF was charged with fraud, you said you would back him again, that he was a brilliant crypto trader. How do you feel now?
I did say that before all of these alleged frauds and charges occurred, because I've known for the last 14 years in the context of Shark Tank and all the investing I do outside of Shark Tank, I actually invested many entrepreneurs that have had catastrophic failures, once, twice, even 3 times, because they learned so much from that. But obviously not if you are charged by the federal government. Am I going to invest in anybody that happens to? And so, you know, it was taken out of context, but I still believe that great entrepreneurs are ones that have experienced catastrophic failure. Now, whatever happens to Sam Bankman-Fried is an unknown at this point, and it's a huge drama, and I'm sure it'll play out. But I must tell you, Liz and Charlie, on an institutional level, that's not where the narrative is anymore. The narrative now on this case is around recovery. In the last 20 days, the innuendo and the rumor has been that they found $4.2 billion in the Caribbean islands, $1.2 billion domestically, up to $400 million cash somewhere else. We don't have the facts yet, but if that's true, if any of this is true, we as investors, not only in the equity, but those account holders like me and millions of others, it's time to show that data to us, because you don't have to give it back to us right now, but why not turn the account back on so we can see the records?
That's a good point, Kevin. Charlie Gasparino here. What's interesting about this, and by the way, we on the Claim and Countdown first reported that the creditors believe they're going to get 2/3 or half of their money back, so they think it could be a long, drawn-out process. Some of that money is somewhat illiquid. So remember, we were there first, but it's going to be a long process. The question I do have for you is, if you were on Shark Tank and you saw Sam Bankman-Fried come before Shark Tank in his disheveled hair and his shorts and his slippers, and he gave you the business model of FTX with a side hustle of a hedge fund, would you guys have given him the money, or would he have won Shark Tank, or would you guys have called him to the carpet? Because it seems like from the beginning this is kind of a suspect business model.
Well, obviously at the beginning of this, and you know, if you think about the institutional investors down that list, they are the who's who of venture capital and large pools of capital. I mean, it's the creme de la creme, and we all look like idiots today.
Yeah, you guys are sharks. You guys are sharks. If you saw that deal would have never made it on Shark Tank just from valuation alone. Okay,
not a chance.
Right, and if you saw the cat, but so then the question is, why did you get involved in it? If you saw the Alameda thing, his crypto exchange, it's kind of right from the beginning. It looks weird.
Well, let me give you a stat that I think kind of sums it up for everybody that invests in venture capital, including this deal specifically. Since the mid-'50s, when they started gathering this data in the Boston region, when we invest, and I say we, you know, the fact is that FTX was just a startup. Big startup, but just a startup. That's what it was. It's a nascent industry, brand new industry. And here you have this guy running around raising capital. So when we invest in 10 deals, 8 of them fail.
I get that.
And 2 of them are...
We totally get that. I mean, Tim Draper's been on the show, and he says, every time I invest in something, I kiss the money goodbye so that when it comes back, in the great event that it does, I'm surprised. We get that. But, you know, now it is this big thing that has totally cast a pall over the entire sector. You've got Coinbase and Kraken now making concessions about so-called staking, which is promising huge. Staking is the practice of promising lots of yield in return for people parking their money at these exchanges. What do you think of staking now?
I think staking is very difficult, but you know, I will say one thing about crypto. For all the you know, noise about it and the excitement, no institutions own this stuff, and I'm very fortunate because when I got involved with FTX, I didn't put a single dollar or penny of any of my LP's money into this thing. It was only my own.
So you worried about having to, Kevin, are you worried about having to give back your money on the clawbacks?
Oh, anything could happen. I mean, it doesn't change what I do tomorrow morning. Yes, I lost $18 million. I hate it when that happens. I can guarantee you.
Me too.
And I don't like looking like a fool, but I lose money 8 out of 10 times. And then every once in a while, I get something like a baseball DNA testing kit that sells for millions and millions of dollars that I bought into at, $50,000. And so these things come and go. But I will agree with what you just said. FTX, Genesis, every week there's another go to zero blow up. And I attended the hearings and testified at the Senate about this. And let me tell you something I learned there. After the hearings were over, I went and talked to the senators in attendance. They are sick and tired of gathering every 6 months for the next crypto company that goes to zero.
By the way, who paid his bail? Do you know?
Nobody knows. And I can assure you it wasn't me. So, if they were disclosing that was.
I believe that.
It's great to see you, Kevin. Please come back because we know somebody's going to be asked to testify. Maybe you. We love having you here. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. We are coming right back. Dow is paring its losses, though, still down 100.